Brothers and sisters, today's topic for Treasures for the Soul is, Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. In John 14, Jesus told the disciples not to let their hearts be troubled. When he said that, his own heart was surely not troubled. Not being troubled doesn't mean you are not realistic or lack empathy. It means knowing that our hearts need to be in good condition in order to bless others. What we are doing on earth is most important and can help people the most. It can affect their eternity and impact their hearts. What's more is that what we are doing is greatly related to God's commission. For us to accomplish God's will, we must have peace in our hearts. This is how our spirits can be uplifted and strengthened. It is very important that our hearts are in good condition. That's why every day it is most important that we draw near to God.
The Lord doesn't want your heart to be troubled. He said, "Believe in God. Believe also in me." Given the current situation in Hong Kong, many people might think I am not being realistic. They might say, "While people are suffering, why is your heart so joyful and at peace? Do you not have any empathy?" But this is not so. The Lord was not worried when he spoke to the disciples the night before the cross. He did not speak to them with a sad face. The disciples were about to fail, and Peter would deny the Lord. The Lord also faced great suffering. But was his heart troubled? Or was he not showing any empathy? Was he being unrealistic? Despite the great trials ahead, no one was more at peace than the Lord. From such a peaceful heart outflowed all precious truths that can affect our whole life. For our whole life, we would not be able to fully comprehend or enjoy all of what he had talked about that night. The Lord's Prayer in John 17 was from a peaceful heart that was very close to God. Nothing could distract him. No matter how great the storm and what great trials he was to face, none of this could disrupt the peace in his heart. And he gave his peace to us. Do I not care about the situation in Hong Kong? Do I not have any empathy? Of course I do. But if you yourself feel sad or troubled, how can you help others? If your grief does not come from God, then your grief comes from a lack of faith. John 14, verse 1 says, "Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me." He also promised that he causes all things to work together. Do you believe it? If you believe it, how come you are still troubled? Do you trust that God can make use of what is happening in Hong Kong to make all things work together? It's not that we are ignoring other people's life and death. No. It's that we cannot do too many things all at once. But we are giving to the world the most essential things which others cannot give. Today, we preach the gospel, help people's spirits, shepherd the sheep, and feed the lambs. If we don't do these things, who else would be able to do it? None of the non-believers can do these tasks. Our ministry today can affect many people's eternity. When you help brothers and sisters, it affects their eternal glory, and also they in turn can help others. We are taking up the most important tasks that need to be done. The Lord will guide us in what to do. I'm not the one in command. You belong to God. You need to be clear of the Lord's guidance. You simply cannot be present at different places and perform different tasks at the same time. So, you must know the role that the Lord has given to you. Since we are in Hong Kong, we need to do what He wants us to do here, and do it well. Remember, don't be troubled. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. If that night the Lord was afraid to be caught and to face the trials, then how could He have helped the disciples? And would what He had spoken that night still be helpful to us? But that night, the Lord's heart was exceedingly glorious, and He overcame the world. The world was cruel and unrighteous to Him, but He had profound peace. He didn't grumble in His heart, saying, I am the Son of God. I love these people. I was born for them and lived for 30 years for them, but yet they treat me this way. He didn't complain or grumble at all. In reality, His heart was bright and He saw everything that was going to happen. When He prayed, the Lord asked the Father to glorify Him, so He could also glorify the Father. He clearly saw the importance of all He was doing. He saw the joy before Him. He saw that Abba's dream, His own dream, and the Holy Spirit's dream, God's dream, would be accomplished. Today, do you see the importance of what you are doing? Do you see the importance of the Lord's commission to us? Many generations have not been able to see this. Do you also see that you are important? You should also see the joy ahead, the eternity of the ones you have saved, and the future of the brothers and sisters you have helped, whether it's during their lifetimes or in their eternity. In the end, the Lord cried, "It is finished." He accomplished what God had commissioned Him. Today, can you see the importance of what God has commissioned you? I can tell you that nothing in this world is as important as His commission, nor is there anything that can replace it. Please tell me if you can find anything greater. For you to accomplish what the Lord has commissioned you, one important thing is your heart must be at peace and not be troubled, so that your heart can continue to be uplifted, to be closer and closer to Him. You will then gain strength from Him and experience the work of the Holy Spirit. This is not unrealistic. This is actually possible, and it can enter deeply into people's hearts. All other ways are unrealistic. Anything that does not help people's hearts is unrealistic. In fact, nothing is more practical than helping others. It's not just being focused on trying to be practical, but nothing is more practical and helpful than to draw near to God. In the whole world, nothing is more practical than being able to help one's heart. Think about it. When your spirit is not in condition, how many people can you really help? What other meaningful things can you do to influence someone's heart and affect their eternity? What is your own condition? After so many years, I still find it necessary to share with you about drawing near to God and experiencing Him. I want you to experience God and enjoy Him more and more. From your heart flows the springs of life. Other people's usefulness also comes from what is in their heart. When your heart is not good, the outward things are not good either. There is no real blessedness unless you can experience and enjoy God from your heart. Such experience is irreplaceable.